Lesson 12.2, annual percentage yield. The objective is to determine the annual percentage yield. The APY is the rate of return on your investment for a 1-year period. Your formula is annual percentage yield equals your interest for 1 year divided by principal. Okay, go ahead and press pause, get this written down, resume play when you're ready. Okay, here we go. Randall Ray invests $5,000 in a certificate of deposit for 3 years. The certificate earns interest at an annual rate of 5.25% compounded quarterly. What is the annual percentage yield to the nearest thousandth of a percent? Okay, the way that we're going to work these today is by using a table in the back of the book on page A14. Okay, so you will not see the numbers, but any numbers that we put up here that you're not sure where they come from, if you look on page A14 in the back, that is where they will come from. Okay? All right, so it says Randall Ray invests $5,000 in a CD for 3 years, earns at an interest rate of 5.25% compounded quarterly. Okay? So now, look in the back on page A14 to find the number that corresponds to 5.25% quarterly. Okay? You find that number, it should be 1.053543. Go ahead and press pause, make sure you can find that number if you need to before you move on. Okay? All right, now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find the annual percentage yield. So in order to do that, we take the amount of money invested, 5,000 times 1.053543. Okay? This is going to give us the total amount invested plus interest. Okay, so go ahead and multiply that out. You should come up with 5,267.72. Okay? Take that amount, 5,267.72, subtract the original $5,000 that you invested, and that gives you interest earned of $267.72. Okay? Now, take your interest earned divided by the original amount of money invested, and you get your annual percentage yield, which in this case is 0.0535 or 5.35% APY. Okay? Annual percentage yield is 5.35%. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's try problems 1 and 2 on your homework. Remember, you have to find your numbers from the table on page A14 in the back of the book. And on A14, there's 2 different parts. There's a 1 year and a 4 year. Only use the 1 year on all these problems today. Okay, page A14. Go ahead and press pause, give you a few minutes to work them, and resume play when you're ready. Okay, let's go ahead and let's try number 1. All right, number 1. National Bank offers $10,000 certificate of deposit at 5.75 compounded monthly. Okay, 5.75 monthly is 1.059040, and that is straight from the table on A14. Okay, so take 10,000 times 1.059040. You should come up with 10,000 $590.40. Okay, subtract that original investment out. You get $590.40. Okay, $590.40 divided by the original investment of $10,000. .05904. Okay, that works out to be 5.9% APY. Okay, that's number one. Okay, number two. Let's see here. 5% quarterly. 5% quarterly is 1.050945. And again, that's from the table on A14. Okay. Multiply 25,000 times 1.050945. You get 26,273.63. Okay. Subtract your original amount off there. Subtract the 25,000. You get 1,273.63. Take that 1,273.63, divide it by your original investment. Okay, and you end up with 0.050945. Which works out to be 5.095% APY. Okay? All right. Now, next example. Galeno can invest $10,000 at either 4.75% compounded daily for 4 years or 5% compounded quarterly for 4 years. Based on the annual percentage yield, which is the better investment? Okay. Guys, on A14, like I said, it has a part of the table that has 4 years. Okay? We don't use that part, just use the 1 year variety. It's going to tell you the same thing. Okay, just use the 1 year. Don't worry about it saying 4 years. So on the table on A14, use the part that says the 1 year. Okay? All right, so first thing we need to do is we need to find out 4.75% daily. We need to find out what that number is from the table. And we need to find out what 5% quarterly is from the table. Okay? All right. 4.75% daily is 1.048643. 5% quarterly is 1.050945. Okay? Now, take the original 10,000, multiply it by your numbers that you just came up with. Okay? You should come up with $10,486.43. Okay? Subtract your original 10 grand off that. 486.43. Take 486.43 divided by 10,000. Okay. You end up with 0.048643, which works out to be 4.86% APY. Now, anytime your number is based on 10,000, guys, it should be real simple. Okay, when your number is based on 10,000, notice it's 4.8%, 4.86 APY, 486. It's right here. You just drop the first part off. Okay, so I'm going to work this problem out, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think my answer is going to be 5.09% APY. Okay, so let's try it. Take 10,000 times 1.050945. Okay, you're going to get 10,509.45. Subtract your original 10,000. It's 509.45. Take 509.45 divided by the original 10,000. You get 0.050945, which is exactly what I said, which means your rate is 5.095% APY. Okay? So the question says, based on the annual percentage yield, which is the better investment? You always go with the highest APY. So the better investment is 5% quarterly as opposed to 4.75% daily. Okay, even though daily is compounded more often, the quarterly at the higher rate gives you a higher rate of return. Okay? All right, let's go ahead. Let's try problem 3 and 4 of your homework. Press pause, resume play when you're ready to see it worked out. Okay, I have a student coming to the board that's going to do number 3. So let's listen to her.
Okay, for daily, it's 3.5%. And your number from the table is 1.035618. For monthly, it's 3.75%. And your number from the table is 1.038151. So you multiply both of those by your principal. For daily, you get 20,712.36 cents. For monthly, you get 20,763.02 cents. Then you subtract your principal, and you get 712.36 for daily. You get 763.02 for monthly. And then you divide by your principal. For daily, you get 3.56%. Monthly, you get 3.82%.
Okay, great job. Thank you. She did everything correct. The question says, which investment's the best deal? Okay. The best deal is obviously the monthly at 3.75% because it has the higher APY. Okay, it's greater than 3.56, which was the daily APY. Okay? All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit smaller so I can do the next problem. Okay? All right. Number 4. Okay. 4.5 quarterly. 4.5 quarterly is okay. She did a great job on this. The only thing is the question asks which four-year investment's the best deal. 3.82% has the highest APY, so your best deal is monthly at 3.75%. Okay? Good job. Going to minimize this so we can work the next problem. Okay, scoot that over. All right, now, for number 4, we have 3.5% daily. Okay, 3.5% daily is 1.045765. And oh, you know what? I'm looking at number 3. That should be 4.5%. 4.5% daily is 1.045765. And then 4.25% monthly is 1.043338. Okay? Now, 4.5% daily. Take 1.045765 times your original investment of $20,000. Okay, do the same thing with the 4.25% number. And remember, these numbers are from table A4, page A14 from the table. Okay, now work both of those out. Okay, 1.045765 times 20,000 is 20,915.30. Subtract your original 20,000 off of that, you get 915.30. Divide your original 20,000 into it now. And you get an AYP of 0.045765. Okay? So, this works out to be 4.58% APY. Okay? Now, the next part, 1.043338 times 20,000 is 20,866.76 minus your original investment. You get 866.76 divided by your original 20,000. Which works out to be 0.043338, okay, which is 4.33% APY. Okay, so the best deal is the 4.5% daily as opposed to the 4.25% monthly. Okay, 4.5% daily yields a higher AYP. All right. Now, the assignment is lesson 12.2, page 445, 1 through 15, and 19. Get busy. Ladner out.